Taehyung sat cross-legged on the bed, the soft hum of the night settling around them. Jungkook sat beside him, legs dangling off the edge, fingers twisted together. Neither spoke. Not at first. Not until Jungkook's voice broke the stillness. She said, "I was broken." Taehyung looked at him slowly. "My ex," Jungkook clarified. She said, "I was too closed off, too damaged to ever love someone properly." Taehyung's breath caught, but he didn't interrupt. "I think I believed her," Jungkook whispered, eyes on his lap. "Even after Jeho. Even after the world kept turning. I just accepted it. That no one would stay." Taehyung leaned in, his voice gentle. "She was wrong." Jungkook laughed, soft and bitter. "Was she? You love Jeho," Taehyung said firmly. "With every inch of you. And you're trying with me. That's more than most people ever give. I don't know how to be enough for you. You already are." The silence returned, softer now, more like a blanket than a wall. Jungkook turned to him, slowly. "Why are you still here?" Taehyung didn't answer right away. He just reached for Jungkook's hand and laced their fingers together. "Because I never stay where I don't want to be," he said quietly. "And with you, I want to stay." Jungkook didn't say anything. He didn't have to. The way he squeezed Taehyung's hand said enough. Later that night when Taehyung got up to check on Jeho, he found the little boy fast asleep, clutching the superhero cape Taehyung had drawn on a napkin days ago. The drawing had the same big T on the chest. And below it, in Jungkook's handwriting, was a name, Jeho's hero. Taehyung stood there longer than he meant to. Because that one scribbled title, and Jungkook's quiet approval, meant everything. The air between them had been thick for days. Lingering touches. Glances held too long. Words left unsaid. Taehyung had felt it building, like a wave gathering strength before crashing. And tonight, it came too close to the edge. They had just finished cleaning up after dinner. Jeho was fast asleep upstairs. The clink of dishes, the sound of running water, it all faded beneath the tension that clung to the air. Jungkook stood by the sink, sleeves rolled up, forearms damp, eyes distant. Taehyung watched him in silence, every part of him aching with restraint. "You're quiet," Taehyung said softly. Jungkook nodded without turning. "It's easier than saying the wrong thing. Try saying what you feel then." Jungkook's hands stilled. "What if what I feel ruins everything?" Taehyung took a step forward. "Then let it ruin everything. Let it break us. At least it'll be real." That was it. The crack in Jungkook's armor. He turned, eyes stormy and conflicted, and stepped forward. One step, then two, until he was standing chest to chest with Taehyung. "I don't know how to do this," he whispered. "I don't know how to want someone and not be scared of it." Taehyung's voice trembled. "I'm scared too." Their foreheads touched. Taehyung closed his eyes. He didn't move, didn't speak, just breathed in the closeness. And then Jungkook kissed him. Not hard. Not rushed. It was the kind of kiss that shook the soul, slow, aching, hesitant at first, then desperate. Taehyung's hands gripped Jungkook's shirt. Jungkook's fingers curled around the back of his neck, drawing him closer, like he'd spent every moment until now starving for this. It wasn't perfect. It was raw. Frantic. Years of fear and longing colliding. When they finally pulled away, both breathless, Jungkook looked wrecked. "I shouldn't have." Taehyung stopped him with a look. "You needed to." Jungkook nodded slowly, voice cracking. Yeah, just then, the silence shattered. A sharp knock on the door. They both froze. Taehyung stepped back, eyes wide. Jungkook's expression hardened as he moved toward the door. When he opened it, a woman stood there, drenched in rain, holding an umbrella and clutching a stuffed bunny. "Hi, Jungkook," she said, eyes locking on his. "Is Jiho still awake?" Taehyung stood behind him, heart sinking. Because the woman wasn't a stranger. She was Jiho's biological mother. Jungkook stood frozen in the doorway, rain misting in behind the woman holding the stuffed bunny. "Minxia," he breathed. Taehyung remained still a few steps behind him, his pulse pounding. Jiho's mother. The woman who walked away. "Can I come in?" Minxia asked, her eyes flickering from Jungkook to Taehyung. "Jiho's asleep," Jungkook said, guarded. "It's late. I came a long way," she replied, her voice soft, but not remorseful. "I just want to see him." "Just once." Jungkook looked torn, the pain flickering across his face. "You haven't asked about him in years, I know," she whispered. "But I've changed." Taehyung stepped forward. "You think change gives you the right to just show up?" Minxia blinked, caught off guard by his voice. "And you're his husband," Taehyung said calmly. "Jiho's family." Something sharp passed through her gaze. "Right. The one Jungkook married for convenience." Jungkook flinched. Taehyung didn't. "There's nothing convenient about loving that child like he's my own." Minxia looked between them, hesitating. "I'm not here to fight. I thought maybe I could talk to Jungkook alone." "No," Jungkook said, his voice steady now. "If you have something to say it here." The three stood in silence for a breath that felt too long. Minxia finally sighed. "I'm not here to take Jiho away. I know I gave it up when I left. But I'm back in Seoul now. I'm stable. I thought maybe I could just be a small part of his life." Jungkook didn't reply. Taehyung's hand gently brushed his, grounding him. "I'll think about it," Jungkook said finally. Minxia nodded, her expression unreadable. "I'll wait. I don't expect forgiveness. But maybe I can earn a sliver of it." She turned and walked into the rain, leaving behind more than just damp footprints. She left behind a storm of memories Jungkook had long buried. Later that night Jungkook sat in Jiho's room, watching him sleep. The stuffed bunny Minxia had left sat untouched on the floor. Taehyung leaned against the door frame. "She can't just walk in and claim space here," Jungkook said bitterly. Taehyung stepped in, voice low. "You don't have to let her." "But she's his mother." "She was." Jungkook. "Not anymore. You and Jiho built a life without her. And I see it. How hard you've worked to protect him." Jungkook looked up, eyes tired. "I don't know what to do." "You don't have to decide tonight." Taehyung paused. "But you need to ask yourself, what does Jiho need most? Not what she wants. Not what you feel guilty about. What he needs." Jungkook stared down at Jiho's small sleeping form. "I think he needs you," he whispered. Taehyung smiled faintly, stepping closer. "Then I'm not going anywhere." The morning light filtered gently through the curtains, but Jungkook's mind was anything but calm. He stood in the kitchen, his hands wrapped around a lukewarm cup of coffee, eyes unfocused. Taehyung entered quietly, hair still damp from his shower, a towel slung around his neck. He didn't say anything at first, just walked up and placed a hand lightly on Jungkook's lower back. "Did you sleep?" he asked. Jungkook shook his head. Jiho woke up once asking for you. I told him you were just tired. I'm not tired, Jungkook muttered. I'm afraid. Taehyung turned to face him fully, eyes soft. Of what, that she'll come back and turn everything upside down again? You think Jiho will love her more than you? Jungkook flinched. I think I'm still angry she left. And that some part of me still hurts that she didn't choose him. There was silence. Then Taehyung reached up, brushing a lock of hair from Jungkook's face. She doesn't get to claim him with one visit and a stuffed toy. You're the one who stayed. You're the one who kissed his forehead every night and sat with him when he was sick. Jungkook blinked fast. You don't need to fight for a place in Jiho's heart. You are his heart, Jungkook. And no one can take that from you. The cup trembled slightly in Jungkook's grip. I need to talk to her again, he said quietly. Later that day Jungkook met Minseer at a cafe, Taehyung's hand having squeezed his just before he left. She looked better, neater. A career woman in a beige coat, sipping tea like she belonged in a different life. I appreciate you agreeing to this, she said softly. Jungkook nodded. I need to understand why. Minseer's expression shifted. I was drowning, Jungkook. Postpartum was a nightmare. My parents were controlling, and I didn't know who I was anymore. So I ran. You could have come back, he said. You never even called. I thought you and Jiho were better off without me. You don't get to decide that for him. Minseer looked down. I don't hate you, Jungkook said, his voice raw. But I won't let you confuse him. He has stability now. He has a home. And he has someone who loves him unconditionally. She looked up. You mean, your husband? Jungkook nodded. Taehyung has done more for Jiho in a few months than you did in years. Minseer swallowed. I'm willing to let Jiho decide when he's older if he wants to meet you, Jungkook said. But not now. Not when you're a stranger to him, she nodded slowly, biting her lip. Okay. I'll wait. That evening Taehyung found Jungkook sitting on the balcony, legs pulled up to his chest. Without a word, he sat beside him. She said she'd wait, Jungkook murmured. You did good, Taehyung replied. Jungkook turned to him. I don't think I could have done it without you. Taehyung reached over, lacing their fingers together. You're never doing anything alone again. And in the stillness of twilight, Jungkook leaned his head on Taehyung's shoulder. Not in love. Not yet. But in trust. In choice. In something real.